don't think I need levels.
No?
I'm not going to get any closer than this, probably.
Greenbrier State Park is located about 30 minutes north of Harpers Ferry. We ultimately wanted to visit Harpers Ferry, but we didn't want to stay in a parking lot or a family campground. So we found Greenbrier as a nice option. There's also lots of hiking trails there, and I didn't realize until after we left, but the Appalachian Trail goes through the southern portion of the park. Our campsite at Greenbrier State Park was pretty perfect, despite the fact that Patrick had to back up on an incline. Once we had the Scamp on the camping pad, it was completely level without us having to do anything, so that was nice. The area was also very clean and well maintained. The fire ring was cleaned out, the picnic table was very new. It was just a perfect little campsite. The camp host even came over and introduced himself to us when we got there. Since this was such a nice campsite and we were going to be here for 2 nights, we decided to try out the awning for the first time. Now, looking back, when we bought the Scamp, we probably should have asked the previous owners to just show us real quick how to set up the awning. And they offered, and we were like, no, that's okay. We'll figure it out. Well, right about this time, we were thinking, we probably should have taken them up on that.
What's this do? Yeah, that does something.
After fumbling around for a little while and trying to figure out where things go, Patrick pulled out his phone and we went to our old standby, which is looking for a video on YouTube.
We don't have a wand.
Now, this awning is not the original Scamp awning. It was put in aftermarket, so it didn't match the video on the Scamp website that shows you how to do everything, so we had to try to figure it out from another video that we found.
Yeah? You want the manual?
See, there's 2 hooks here. That's where they go.
Oh, that's where they go. Okay. And then how do you put these down is my other question.
As you're watching us fumble around with the awning and trying to figure out what we were doing, don't feel bad. We actually had the manual for the awning in the Scamp. And at any time we could have stopped what we were doing and gone in and actually read the manual. But I think this just goes to show that Patrick and I are both the kind of people who like to try things and figure them out, even sometimes when that's not the most effective way. In the end, we did both get a pretty good arm workout out of the process, and eventually we figured out how our awning actually works. So hopefully the next time we try to do this, it goes a little smoother.
Right?
I think so. What else would you do?
once we finally had the awning situated, we went down to the lake to check out that area. It's actually a pretty large lake at Greenbrier, and there's a huge parking area, so we think in the summer this is probably a very popular area for locals to come and have picnics and go swimming. We headed back to the Scamp so that I could start cooking dinner. I had a bunch of arugula and some chicken that we had brought from home, tomato, an onion, a hot pepper, some corn, and these miracle noodles. So this ended up being a really good meal, but at about 2 in the morning I woke up and I felt really, really sick. And afterwards I figured out that the miracle noodles do not agree with my stomach. So just full disclosure if you're thinking about recreating that meal. We've been on vacation for, 2 days now, and I feel like we've seen a lot of wildlife. Praying mantis, stick bug, more butterflies than I could count, 2 bald eagles, an osprey. It's crazy. Yeah, lots of bees, deer, groundhogs. I think that's it. Stick bug. He's pretty cool too. I think he's trying to eat the side of our RV. He's like chewing on it. For the last several years, Patrick has wanted to go on some sort of a rafting trip. When we were in Colorado, we just missed the season, so I really wanted to fit that into this trip. We knew that there were a bunch of places in Harpers Ferry that did whitewater rafting, but for some reason, the day that we were there, I think it was a Tuesday, is a slower day. They don't have any guided tours. So our only option was to do a self-guided kind of hybrid kayak raft thing on our own on the river. So that's what we signed up for, and we got up early and started to drive down to Harpers Ferry to see what this was all about.